Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It helps us more than you could imagine.
If you could give skinny legends out there, or even early beginner noob gym goers, to increase their bench press, what would be like the one thing you'd be like, look, this will help you out quite a bit?
So obviously just bench press, right? Like people
Practice.
So people think like, people say, oh, what's the best thing to improve my bench? Like, should I do like a dumbbell? Should I do like a machine chest press? Like, just bench. You know what I'm saying about the skill earlier on.
Right.
The bench press any lift is a skill. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can do something close to it, but it's not going to be the same. You can get sick at dumbbell press. It's not going to make a big difference to your bench press. So the best thing is to do that skill frequently, right? Yeah. Beyond that, just eat more food. Like with skinny, like I used to work at a school, and you get so many like 16-year-old guys that want to get massive, and they're like, I'm training every day, and like all this work. Why am I not getting bigger? And then you analyze their diet, and they're having like a pack of Quavers and playing Call of Duty for 12 hours. Like, you're not going
to... Sounds like a personal attack.
Saturday evening. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
it's true though.
It's such shit advice, because it's so, you're like, oh, obviously, yeah, but like, eat more food. Like,
consistency.
If you are not gaining weight, you are not eating enough food. Yeah. That's it. Like, literally, that's it. And like, if you struggle to eat, because I've had in the past, I used to be a powerlifter where I was trying to hit the top of my weight class and gain weight, and like, it was horrible. I was like force feeding myself every day. Like, find clever ways to do it. So like I said, liquid calories is the dream. You can drink it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's what we did.
You can make a shake up like 1,000 calories. You can down it in 20 seconds. You try and eat 1,000 calories of food, it takes a while and you feel sick. So that try and find
liquid
ways.
Calories.
That's the
big
dream.
help. Big help.
Find ways to get calories in that don't make you feel sick. Basically.
Yeah, I could. My like goal over the last month has been to hit like 3.3k calories, because usually if I'm just cutting around like normally, like if I don't think about what I'm eating, I swear I'll hardly even get 2,000 calories in. Like, and I just go back to nothing.
Which like for most people will be sick, right? Most people, because I have the same thing. People are like, oh fuck you, like you have to try and eat food, like for you.
It's ass.
Yeah,
but like if you're trying to gain weight, it fucking sucks.
Yeah,
because there is nothing like, I'd rather diet than force feeding yourself for a long period of time. Like, it's horrible. Like, you get eating disorders and stuff. It's not nice. So like, you got to find ways. Find ways to get calories in that don't make you feel sick.
What's frustrating, like you're trying to gain weight and you don't find yourself that hungry at all throughout the day.
But it's just human nature, right?
Yeah.
It's because you like, so when I was triple jumping, I was like dieting constantly. Like, I literally a proper like like an eating disorder. Really, I'd literally starve myself to get light, because the lighter I was, the further I jump. And so at that point, I would like have dreams about donuts and stuff, proper like obsessed.
Really, like joking, actual
mate.
dreams.
Not joking. I'd have a dream about Krispy Kremes frequently, mate. Honestly, right? and then I switched to powerlifting, where I had to force feed myself, and suddenly it was the other way around. I was like, oh, I don't want to even see food. Like, I'd rather just not eat. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, as soon as you know you can't have something, that's all you want. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If you know you have to eat, it's not fun anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The novelty's gone. Whereas if you don't, if it's like if you're dieting, if I said to you, oh, you can never eat donuts again, within a week you're like, oh, I want them so bad. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas if you know you can eat donuts all day, every day, it's not the same. It's not fun, because it's not that taboo. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's like human nature. Like, whatever you can't have, you want. You know what I mean? So as soon as you say, right, I have to eat food to gain weight, then straight away you've put this thing in place. Yeah.
Well, it's become a bit of a chore.
We actually saw you. We saw you digest how many donuts was it? 12? 14 donuts? 12 donuts in 14 minutes. So you did a 25,000 calorie challenge. Now, most YouTubers will do 25,000 calories in a group of people, like the Sidemen video. They do 20,000 calories in between 7 people. You actually, and with a lot of these videos, they're like, yeah, but did they actually do it? Is it pure waffle? Etc. etc. But with you, I would be willing to put down a lot of money that it was very legit, and you actually got through 25,000 calories.
The breakfast alone, fella. As I was eating my breakfast while watching you eat your 5,000 calorie breakfast. So I did about 400 calories, and in this time, he's just done 6,000. Wrapped it all up, double cream, scrambled eggs. Like, what is going on there?
Mate,
walk us through that video.
Was the worst day. Like, literally. Like, I remember. I think I finished it, because this is a while ago now. But I think I finished it at like 2 a.m. Like, just swallowing mouthfuls of Haribo. Yeah, and like,
mate,
I literally thought I was going to die. I remember just being like,
too much sugar. Now.
You looked fucked. You looked finished.
Like, do you know what I've literally never, like, since then I've never done a proper like that. I don't do even food videos I don't really do anymore, but occasionally I do one. But I haven't done an eating challenge for like such long. One that's that's like capacity loads. I don't do them because it's just shit. Like that video, it served its purpose. Like that video blew up, got me loads of subscribers, but it literally, I reckon it damaged my gag reflex for like a year. Like after that video, I'd sit down for a normal meal and I'd be like just all the time, just felt sick all the time. Couldn't even eat like normal stuff.
Flashbacks to that moment
just
where it's 2 a.m. with the Haribos.
Just killed me, honestly. I think it was like something to do with like fat or whatever. Like I'd just have a meal, a normal meal, and I'd be like halfway through, and I'd just be like I couldn't eat it. Like
wow.
Horrible,
how is your stomach fitting this food in? Like how many times are you going to the toilet in that day?
Mate, if you look at like competitive eaters, they're all like the best ones are like skinny. Like there's skinny Asian women.
It's true,
I can't get my head around.
How do you think about it? Conversely, if you're really fat, there's there's not much room for your organs. These guys are like really lean. What they'll do is they'll drink gallons and gallons of water and stretch their stomach. And then they've got a huge capacity to consume food. I think the biggest thing is being able, like I said, going back to that gag reflex, being able to override that. Because for me, if I try and ram stuff in my mouth, I'm like, ooh, whereas these guys can just literally open their friggin' throat and just swallow it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's the biggest thing, being able to shut that off and just be able to swallow whatever you want.
No wonder chicks can bang that.
What do you reckon the record is for most calories in a day?
There's a guy, have you seen Eric the Electric? He's like a cyclist.
Eric the Electric.
The name is
like
totally
a
enough.
Skinny cyclist, right?
Yeah.
He's done, I think he's done like 40,000 calories in like 2 days, which is like, bear in mind, obviously after day one, you'd be like written off. Yeah.
Well, after that challenge, I'm talking the day or 2 days after, what was that like? Because it's a write-off, right?
Yeah. Like I said, the biggest thing for me was like psychological. Like I just didn't want to see food ever again. Really? I was like, I will gladly just not eat now. I'm done. I'm food. Do you know what I mean?
I'm finished with that.
Next thing, move on.
Yeah. Oh man, I could, like this. Surely there's like stomach cramps, like all that. Like that has to, or were you actually okay for the most part?
No, I was like violently sick. Like
right there it is. That's right. That's what we were looking for.
Like that night, like I was an absolute wreck. And like I said, I was like proper like sweaty and like shivery, and just felt I was like I'm just gonna die now.
And the last thing you want to do is like turn on the vlog camera to be like, by the way, guys.
The amount of sugar though.
Yeah,
you consumed.
Is that not dangerous with the amount?
It's definitely dangerous. Yeah. If you got unlucky, you probably could just die.
Actually, that.
Yeah. But listen, when you're getting 7 mil views in a vid like that,
that's what I mean.
You gotta take the risk.
That's the case with most YouTube stuff. You do it and you're like, fuck, but then it serves its purpose, right? Yeah. But the problem is though, if you do that, if you do too many of those videos, then you have an audience that only wants to see that.
See
do you know what I mean?
pain and suffering through eating.
Like,
so you do it as like a one-off, like a every now and then.
Well, that was. I mean, that was a long. That must be like getting on 4 years ago, I reckon.
Yeah.
So at that point, they were banging those videos. You know, everyone was doing a 10K challenge, right? So I did like 10, 15, 20. I kept going, and like
then you got to 25, and you're like,
Was that the last? Was that the last?
Yeah, that was it. I literally was like, I'm never doing.
You must have found the 10K one a piece of piss then.
Do you know what? Yeah, I feel like I just adapted because it wasn't like really hard, but like it wasn't easy. Like I'm still like, I don't know. I feel like each one, they obviously got progressively harder, but none of them were easy. They were all like, the 10 wasn't like the best thing. It's just, again, it's that thing, it's like, you have to eat it. Like, there have been so many days in my life where I've eaten 10K calories, not even thought about it, and it's been enjoyable. As soon as you say, but as soon as you say, I'm going to eat it now, I have to eat it, and I'm going to film it, straight away it changes.
It's so true.
Just getting the camera out, you're like, do you know what I mean?
What was the biggest cheat code? Because I remember I watched one of your videos, I think it was, you did like swapping diets with your brother who was going to uni or something like that. Yeah. I watched that, and it was like yours and his trick was to put a little bit of olive oil. In each one, because olive oil obviously is so calorie dense. I started that, he's picked up and he's run with it, and he's taken to a new level. What he would do is put it in Actimel, which like it actually is just so good. So olive oil is like, that much olive oil would be like 500 calories. It's the easiest thing. It's literally just liquid calories. It's so easy, right? Yeah. Obviously, it's revolting, so you've got to get the ratios right. You put too much in, it's like proper slimy. Put a little bit in, don't even notice it.
He's whacked it in a yogurt?
So, there's little drinks, you know what I mean? The
little shot ones. Yeah.
You can put in a good amount. Do you know what? We were like experimenting. We were seeing how much can we get away with. You don't even
how many calories could you chuck in it?
So you can make that Actimel shake like 400 calories, and that's one mouthful, 2 seconds. That's a shot. Literally done. Easy. The easiest thing. Yeah.
Not this down.
Yeah.
But
seriously,
I'm not advocating like, because I'm sure there must be some
it can't be that good for you.
But for a short-term fix,
that's so interesting. Yeah. And is there any other like foods or anything that you think are just like a little bit like, look, if you need those last 500 calories.
Something that's easy to eat, but it's got a lot,
It's generally stuff that's high in fat, right? So, do you know what I mean? So, like stuff like nuts, like nut butters, like peanut butter, and like find ways so like just adding more butter to your food. Do you know what I mean? Right. When you cook food, you can just put more oil and butter in. You don't even notice it, but it's just sneaky little things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Or live in America.
Yeah, there we go.
Those fat bastards over there, they cake
make the portions.
But the portions,
it's like
there.
3 guys.
Ridiculous,
Well, you've seen them videos where they compare like a large McDonald's UK to a large McDonald's. It's
literally
mental.
like our large drink wouldn't even. Do you know what I mean?
They're small. It's not even that small. Seriously,
you're like, who needs 4 liters of Coke? I don't understand who's drinking that. Like,
the healthcare companies are licking their lips because they got to pay for their healthcare.
And even the drinks over there taste different as well because like the sugar.
It tastes better.
The sugar the sugar laws are different, right?
I feel like I feel like they have less limited restrictions. But yeah, that's it. You want to find like low mass stuff. So what you want to avoid is stuff that's really high in protein and fiber because that fills you up. Do you know what I mean? So like if you eat a tin of beans, you're like, what? But like that's like a couple of 100 calories. It's nothing. But it's so fibrous that it makes you feel really full. Do you know what I mean? So you want to find stuff that's just hollow. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you eat like a Big Mac meal, I can just inhale that, like literally done. Don't even notice it. Doesn't touch the sides, right? Yeah. It's 1,000 calories. If you eat 1,000 calories of like
chicken and rice
broccoli, you're going to be so full. Do you know what I mean? So it's finding stuff. If you're trying to get calories in, find stuff that's like high in calories relative to mass.